Well, there we have it. Wrapped up today. At the moment, I'm down about $80 something. We'll see it in a little bit, but maybe I'll do some more afternoon trading today because the big thing is, just like yesterday, market opened, everything pre-market was so hot. That was the time to trade. Market opened, everything's pulling back like 40-50% from pre-market highs. Ridiculous. So just like EQ, our second lead gapper on the day, it's holding this $8 area very, very well. So maybe it's going to start reversing. Maybe we're going to break back above VWAP, and then maybe we're going to have an afternoon trading session. That's kind of my logic. If we don't get it, then I won't be trading. If we do get it and I'm online, which isn't always the same thing, then I would like to trade. But it's, right now that I'm in Berlin, sometimes it gets a little bit too late. I have other plans, so I miss the afternoon runs, and that's why I like wrapping up by like 11 o'clock, 10:30, ideally. Looking back at it, Friday we had a huge wicked move on WIMI. It did everything that I wanted. I mean, literally everything. It had the best breakouts. It was just so clean, but it all happened like after 12 o'clock. So I had a nice pre-market session. All morning it sold off, and then it had that huge second run starting around like noon or something like that, which sucked because I totally missed it. But that's, it is what it is. And I think as a day trader, you miss 1,000 opportunities a day. So it's totally fine. At one point you kind of get numb to that. I don't have like any sort of FOMO that I missed on that. But since I wrap up trading by like 10:30, 11 o'clock, it's kind of annoying because it's like, there was nothing to really do when the markets were open besides making sure to buy those dips instead of those breakouts, because buying the breakouts on Friday and today were my kind of downside, and that's kind of why I had 2 red days back to back. So we'll review all the trades. We'll review maybe what I'm going to be looking for afternoon trading, and then I also want to be reviewing Roth IRAs. I'll start off with that. Where I'm going to talk about, why I'm going to be contributing a little bit more to my Roth IRA. And I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys have a Roth IRA? Do you guys have just a plain IRA? Do you guys know the difference between the two? I review it a little bit here in the recap, mostly on the Roth IRA front, but there's so much good quality content out there for that. And if you guys do have any questions, I say get multiple questions, I will make a separate video. But for now, I think this is good. I hope you guys enjoy the recap today. Don't forget to drop a like if you do. And if you're new, consider subscribing. We go live every morning at 9:15 to review the watch list and trade the market open. Let's go to the charts now. All right, guys, so here it is. I mean, this is, we're wrapping up here. We did, how many trades did we do today? Let's quickly check. 14 trades today, which is better than Friday. Friday was a disaster for me. I was a little bit all over the place pre-market. We really cleaned it up today. At no point was I was like, oh, I'm not really doing good trading today. I felt like I was doing okay trading. I didn't have like blow away trades, but it was like, consistent overall. And then it was just this one trade I got a big flush on, and that brought me negative on the day with specifically EQ, which was a big flush. I was down 12% just like that. We're down, right before this one happened, we were up like 70 or 80 bucks. I'll have to watch the recap and really study what went wrong. I'm actually really genuinely curious. Like maybe there was a tidbit of information in there. So there's the link, guys, at the top right. You guys can timestamp it, or all of my trades after the market open are timestamped, so you guys can watch them one-on-one on your own time. And I find that to be quite valuable. I do it quite a bit myself. So yeah, bit of a red day here. There's one thing I want to bring up before we go ahead and review the trades. Check out this. This is the last day to contribute to the Roth IRA. Obviously not today, but it's the last is when your taxes are due. So that's April 15th. And now April 15th is obviously over, but with Corona, I think it was extended 90 days. So basically July 15th, when, mind you, 15th on Wednesday, taxes are due, personal taxes are due. So just keep that in mind. So when taxes are due, it's the same time where you can do your last contribution to Roth IRA. Now, some of you guys are probably wondering, what is Roth IRA? Why should I contribute to it? There's a plethora of information out there, so I'm not gonna go into it too long. But basically, you can invest after tax money. So let's say, after taxes, I get back my money, I pay my taxes, and now I have $5,000, let's say, leftover tax money, and this is my investing money. Now I could, put that into my margin account or whatever, trade with it, yada, yada, but I have to pay taxes on that traded money. But I could also put my money into my Roth IRA account, and then I don't have to pay taxes on the gains. And there is a max contribution, Roth IRA max contribution, and I think it's at $6,000. Let's see, 5,000 500, but I think it was just increased to 6,000. I would have to double check. If you're older than 50, it's 6,500. Limits are the same for 2020. Okay, maybe it is 5,500. I don't know. Double check on your own time, guys. But the nice part about it is I can now max out my Roth IRA contribution for the year. I can put 5,500 into it. And then when I, let's see, Roth IRA distributions, I always forget these numbers, distribution age. So then when I am 59 years older or older, 59 and under, you can free. Yeah, so then I can withdraw that money with no taxes and no penalty. I have to be over $59 years of age. Now, if I'm under 59 years of age, what you can do is I can always take out my contribution. So let's say this year I deposited $5,000. Next year I can actually take out $5,000. Nothing happens because it's after-tax money. But if I take out money ahead of time, then I will have to pay I think a 10% fee until I'm 59. So I have to watch out. I can only take out contribution money. But the great part is, since we're obviously day trading here and we're growing small accounts relatively quickly, then let's say getting 5% dividends on these accounts. That it's great, but you don't really grow a small account. That's really nice when you have like, I don't know, $50,000 or more, or you want to start early, but it requires a bit more money to actually like get something out of it in a way. So growing a small account is actually a great thing to do in a Roth IRA. So our $25,000 challenge, we moved to our Roth IRA. Now you guys remember that I was paying myself, what was it, 25% per month for my Roth IRA account. So actually this account that we grew from $4,000 to like $7,000 or so, I'm going to put that money back into it. So I never paid myself. And the reason I want to do that is because I obviously want to max out my contributions. Now I'm not going to put more than that just because I'm doing the challenge and I want to have that clean amount of, can we get it to 4,000 to 25,000 and then beyond, right? That's kind of what I wanted to do with this challenge. And I know it's possible. It's just going to take a little bit of time here. So I don't want to over contribute, but I just wanted to kind of break back even. So I think I'm going to roughly put like $400 back in here. So if you guys are following the challenge account, which I know a lot of you guys are, I wanted to kind of point this out. Don't be surprised when this is all of a sudden $7,000. Because I'm basically putting money back into it that I took out during the challenge, because I do like to have this kind of cash flow thing where I always pay myself from all of my business activities. I hope that makes sense. But the great part is now when we grow this account, let's say from where it is now, $6,000 to $25,000, we don't have to pay any taxes on that money. So when we grow the account from $25,000 to $100,000, we don't have to pay any money on that, and so on and so on. And once we start actively day trading this account, which I think I will do at one point, that way, right now I day trade in a margin account, and that is not in a Roth IRA. So I will have to pay taxes on my profits. Obviously, the only problem is I can't take any money out of that necessarily until I'm 59. So that is the caveat. But if you think about it, and this is what I've been thinking about kind of a lot, and this is my last tangent here. If you let's say grow the account from $4,000 to $25,000, then $25,000 to $100,000, that's huge. Now I could still take out like my contribution, right? And then let's say I wanted to take out $10,000, then I'll pay the 10% penalty on it, plus my income tax, but I would have had to pay income tax all along the way anyway to grow account from $4,000 to $100,000. So technically, paying penalty. Now, I'm not a tax consultant or anything, and you guys should always, do what you think is right, but paying a tax penalty might actually be favorable just because you can grow account exponentially. Now, without paying taxes. Now, obviously, you need to be a pretty decent day trader, and that's kind of the whole point of this challenge. Can we grow the small account? And over the last 6 months, we've been growing the accounts very, very nicely. Some months are better than others, but we have proven it's possible, and now we just need to constantly refine our strategy. So, today it was a bit of a red day. I mean, we lost $84 today. Last week, though, on average, we were up. So, we deposited $25,300 in this account a few weeks ago. Now it's at $26,227, and that's even with two big red days, Friday and today. Today's not the biggest red day, but still, it was like, it was so unnecessary because we were up $100 P&L on the day. And then I gave it all back basically on that one giant flush. It was ridiculous. So let's just go ahead and review starting with Probably starting with FTEK because it's really, really simple and might as well just get it out of the way. FTEK was just a really, really quick I had a limit order I put up early on because, wait, hold on, FTEK, let me quickly FTEK. This is kind of cool. So sometimes we'll have a lead gapper and then it kind of dies off, but I know that, there's sometimes big support left over in these zones, so I'll put out limit orders at these supports. We basically had a huge sell-off. My limit order got triggered and then I quickly sold on the bounce back up. The problem with FTEK, it was so illiquid that I actually had issues getting out of my trade, and I got out not necessarily at the best spot, but I got out of the spot that there was actually some volume. So you have to watch out on these. Yeah, I mean, I could have done much better on this one. My entry was at 80.857, so somewhere here in this area. And technically it did run up like 12%, and I only kind of took like a 3% profit on this one. It was only $1,000 position size. Anytime I have leftover limit orders, I always make sure they're small size. I like to get the trade so I don't have FOMO for missing the trade, but I don't want to risk it too much. Somehow FTEK, this was actually the stock I ended up the most green on today. It's kind of funny on that one. EQ, another ticker today that was kind of, it had potential. It really did have potential, and right now it's curling again. Oh my God, I'm about to have a little bit of FOMO. So EQ, we might actually trade. I'm going to try not to trade on the recap video because that's going to be a heck of distracting, but this was our second lead gapper on the day early on. So we were up 300%, and then we started giving back a lot of profits. But at one point, we were up just about 300% or so. So that was really, really looking good. And then before the market opened, this thing was pulling off really heavy. And then I was kind of like, this is not really what I want. I don't really want this stock to pull off this heavy. So I'm going to, maybe only trade this on a good red to green move. And that's what we got. Out of the gate, we got a nice little red to green move. Oh yeah, by the way, this one has 7 million float, US biotech, with Indian approval on coronavirus 19 trial results. So coronavirus 19. Wow, that was, yeah. COVID-19 trial results. Good catalyst, micro news, macro trend, slow float, US biotech, beautiful. Everything is kind of fitting the bill, but it's just pulling off so aggressively. So you got to watch out when these stocks pull off. I wanted to buy the red to green move on a possible big dip to $8. So I entered here to 813. Didn't get the bounce. I closed out right away I actually went instantly big red on this one. So I was happy to get out for just a scratch. Would have been good to kind of buy the secondary dip on this one because it shot up, got halted. This could have been a huge win. So it looks like my thesis was right. My timing was wrong. At one point, we did kind of pop higher here, back above the 9-minute EMA. This could have been a really nice 18% pop. At no other really time was this really worth trading. So, buying the dip down here and then selling for a loss here was kind of unnecessary. But that's hope. Sometimes you're just hoping that anything starts moving because at 10:30, nothing was really moving anymore. And then EQ right here, again, this one, I bought the breakout on the 9-minute EMA. And, lately I've been saying Alex, don't buy breakouts anymore because those are all I don't know, the breakouts have been very weak lately, especially from 9:30 to 10:30, 11. The breakouts have not been that good. So those are the ones I've been getting skunked on extra hard, which is annoying because, usually, that's the main setup. Yeah, so I kind of got faked out on this one. Took a 4 cents a share profit on this one. I had nothing really too crazy. Made $8 on it or so. Now it's kind of curling again here, breaking up. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do with this one. I think if EQ breaks above VWAP with big volume, I'd probably jump on this one. I think it has huge potential. But right now, I'm not really interested in trading it. I was a bit nervous I was going to break $8, but right now it actually looks like it might not break $8. And if it does go back above 8.6, this could be a hot move, really, I got to say. So let's see, ECOR. And remember, if you guys are thinking about swing trading it, always look at the long-term chart. How has it performed in the past? Has it had multi-day runners? Because EQ, I've noticed on the long-term chart, it doesn't look that nice. I mean, we have a few kind of spikes up here that maybe have a second green day, but overall we'll have a gap day and it sells off. Gap day sells off. Gap day sells off. So I don't know. I'm a little bit cautious on this one for sure. Although this is really the bigger gap day we've seen in a long time. So if we see EQ start holding its highs, I would probably like to get aggressive at one point. To kind of go feed off of that, ECOR, our elite gapper on the day with its 26 million float, also gapping up about 300% pre-market. US biotech with coronavirus news as well. FDA emergency use authorization for procedures. I mean, it sounded really, really good. This one also has better gap days, so long-term chart looks a little bit nicer. We also had huge room to run. I mean, you know, we were breaking all the way up to 326. We had some big support in this area. I thought we were going to have a quick little pullback and then maybe rip to 4, maybe even see like $4.75, which maybe we still will. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just like, I was expecting that a little bit to happen earlier on. But oftentimes when you have such aggressive pre-market moves, sometimes they don't really hold the highs so well. So big resistance here at like 475.5. So maybe in the next day or two, or maybe even today, we're going to see these areas get hit. Or an offering is going to come out and it's going to get absolutely crushed. I would like to see it, you know, hold its highs a little bit better. You know, this was a really, really wicked sell-off, about, you know, 38% from pre-market highs. So that's a big sell-off for a stock. So again, I'm a little bit cautious here, but if we start, you know, trending higher, then I would like to jump in it, because Friday we had some huge moves all happening like after 12 o'clock. And that's when I was kind of, you know, I stopped out for the day. I hit my max stop and I was like, okay, I'm done Friday. And then all the moves that I was waiting for, all the breakouts started happening. It was like, when I look back on WIMI, I was just like, oh, can't believe it. Okay, so let's review ECOR. It's nothing really too crazy, so I think this will actually go really, really quick. Pre-market, everything was looking okay. I like the fact that we're, you know, making higher moves. 3.2 was a big resistance zone. I was watching this one really closely. And eventually we did have, or we were coming back here to 2.8 zone, and I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. And then we started reversing here, and I was thinking, okay, this is maybe a bit longer of a consolidation because we had a nice flag pattern here. We're having a more aggressive flag pattern because the lows aren't going as low. So let me buy this dip here at $3. I got an entry at 298. And I sold this one very quickly. I was like, you know, I was still a little bit phased from Monday. I wrapped up $20 on this trade. So I was like, okay, looking good. The next trade, try to buy another dip on this one, got skunked out or shaken out. And then I tried to buy another dip, got shaken out. And I was like, okay, I gave back some of my profits already. So nothing really good. But eventually, boom, 293, we looked like we're going to be breaking above the EMA. And then boom, I snagged this one. This was a pretty sweet one. Actually, this first one I got shaken out again, but then I re-entered, and then this is the big move I got. I was instantly up like $70 pre-market or something like that, and I was like, all right, you know, this is looking good. You know, I had some shaky entries here, but sometimes you gotta, you know, spin the wheels a little bit before you grip something, and I feel like, you know, it's totally fine, you know, taking occasional losses or scratches, as long as you don't like go psychologically crazy. So eventually we get a nice little dip here to 323. I tried to buy the dip on this one. I got shaken out, which was annoying because I kind of gave back some of my profits on that one. And then, you know, this is when I noticed that I was losing my cool a little bit, because I tried to buy the breakout here and I bought it at 332. I bought the breakout, like I said, I should not do on Friday. And I was like, oh, Alex, why do you even say that you shouldn't do these things if you're going to do them anyway right afterwards? So I was kind of annoyed at myself on this one, losing like 8 cents a share on this one. Again, it's not a big loss. It's like really not that big of a problem. It was just like so unnecessary. I gave back pretty much all the money that I made on this move. I should have just, you know, took this profit and just moved on and been like, I'm done. But then, you know, that's the one time it usually takes off. So after this loss, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to trade anymore until the market opens. And then boom, the market opens and I'm like, woohoo, let's go. I really was thinking about buying here at $3 when we had this quick dip, and I should have done this because I could have bought the dip here. We pulled back here. I probably would have sold when it was weak and at 3. That would have been really the way to play this one. Instead, I buy the breakout here at 313. Again, I'm buying breakouts. Why am I doing that? And then it looked like really weak, so I sold here at 318, which was good because we had a huge flush down. I would have been, you know, instantly, you know, down like 8-9%. So again, breakouts are not working. Dips are the way to go. I don't know why I wasn't doing the dips. And then we find some support in this area. We start pulling higher. I bought that 292 as we looked like we were going to break higher. It didn't break higher. I took my 10 cents a share move. This was actually pretty good. I was up quite a bit here on this one. This was a bigger position size. 6, 12, 18, almost like $2,000. At the end when I sold it was $2,000 position size. So it was a nicer position size, and on that 10 cents a share move, I made quite a bit. Well, relatively, you know, compared to pre-market. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm back above like $70 profit on the day with the ECOR. Things are looking good. Then we have this big move higher, which was actually the move I was waiting for. And then I was like, okay, well, we're going to get a quick probably pullback. So I'm going to buy the pullback here, look for a continuation. Bought the pullback at 308. We have a huge flush down. And then we have another huge flush down. I'm like, no, like Friday 2.0. I literally just got flushed in again. Again, I used smaller position size because I was like, this is not as like cool as a position I was hoping for. Also, check here the 5-minute chart. I was like, we are potentially trending lower. Maybe it looks like we're on the backside of a move because right now we're not really holding, above VWAP that well. Plus the 9-minute is really coming down on us. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious here. So I used smaller position size. That's the only thing I did right on this one. But still, that was a 20% flush to the downside, 22 even on 3 candles. And it just got me, I didn't get out in time. I probably could have got out a little bit sooner. And this is the one I really recommend you guys watch on the live stream, maybe several times, just kind of see what you guys can dig out of it. Okay, let's kind of forward here a little bit. I didn't really trade, I think ECOR much more. Let me quickly see here. Yeah, okay, I think that was actually the last trade on ECOR. I felt like there was maybe one more. That's what it was. It was after this, I was like, something here, ECOR, I was up $70, I was down 100, and then I was a dozen things in between. So clearly, ECOR, just like WIMI, I'm doing something wrong. Like clearly, this one's not clicking to me. And I feel like sometimes when a stock's just not clicking like that, then maybe, especially when you're green, you should be like, wow, the fact that I'm even green on this, I should be so happy. And I should have just walked away on this last trade. So, giving back all my profits on this one and just one trade and then being red was a little bit annoying. And it kind of reminded me of Friday a little bit. Like, I don't really think today's the worst day at all. And I think I will recover from today very quickly. As long as, I stay, cool headed and calm and collected and only trade the best setups. It just it kind of felt a little bit unnecessary. And I was like, come on, why am I, going so aggressive on these breakouts? So let's see if we can see maybe some reversals later today. But, the mornings haven't been as hot. It's been all pre-market action. And then into the morning, everything just sells off. So, you want to kind of understand that. And, there's no need to take unnecessary risk. EQ is, again, still at $8. I wonder if $8 is going to really break with vengeance at one point. Or if it's, honestly, if EQ breaks above $9, you can almost bet if I'm online, I'll be trading it. But at the moment, my paws are off. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I have no long positions out. I just have some buy orders on several tickers. But at the moment, nothing, no trading from me at the moment. No live orders. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave any questions, comments below. I answer all of them myself. Drop a like if you enjoy the content. Check out Roth IRAs, guys, if it makes sense to you. I know I'm a big fan of that because you could save taxes. I don't like the fact that you have money technically locked up. I think like that's kind of stressful, but I do actually think it's worth it. You can also check out IRAs. Where you put pre-tax money in, but then you pay more taxes later. So I don't know. It's a trade-off. Check the two out. There's tons of videos. I just kind of wanted to, put it out there just as a reminder. Sometimes you forget these things. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning to trade the market open. Like always, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.